When I have kids, I see speed limits that make sense because there's kids that play here. When I have kids, I'm not disgusted by this thing anymore. I see a kid who's hurting, and I'll do anything I can to help them. What happens as you grow in relationship with God, your heart begins to change, and you can finally see that He's actually a God who wants good things for you, though at first they feel restrictive. At first, they feel like it's a bunch of do's and don'ts, and you don't want any part of that. Maybe you're here, and you don't know who Jesus is, and you haven't given your life over, and that's your evaluation of Christians. You guys just have a bunch of rules, a bunch of things you can and can't do. Doesn't sound free. Talk about freedom in Christ. You seem like you're more enslaved than anybody else. But I would tell you this, in my time following Jesus the Christ, the more and more that I get to learn about who He is and how good He is, I start to see the law in a whole different way. So more than, right, if you're saved from sin, you're saved for relationship, what happens when you can cultivate that relationship is that you start to understand why He calls us to live a certain way. If you've ever looked at the 10 Commandments and be like, those seem really harsh, I don't know if we could ever do those, or, and you can study them, that if all societies actually lived according to the 10 Commandments, just those, how much more peaceful and more flourishing human life would be in any neighborhood, any country, all over the world.